Happy Monday, my beautiful soul family, and welcome to Michelle's Magical Monday for the week of September 19th. And what's really cool about this week is it is the portal of the autumn equinox. At least most of you are here in the northern hemisphere, but I do have my friends down under and in South Africa. So for those of you who are in the southern hemisphere, it's the beginning of spring. So for us, this closes up high growth season and moves into the energy of the dark mysteries. It's the second of the harvest holidays, and it is actually considered the witches' Thanksgiving. So there's this huge energy of gratitude as an attitude right now, at least in my world there is. And it's a really, really big deal for me because 10 years ago this week, I actually became a Theta Healing Certificate of Science Master Instructor. So, it's been about 12 years since I found Theta Healing and 10 years since I became an instructor. But in 2012, on September 21st, I actually completed the class program with Viana after living there for 4 months and really went full on out September 21st, 2012. So it's exactly 10 years. So this is my thank you to each of you. Without all of you listening and coming to do stuff with me, I wouldn't even be here. I would be working some kind of day job somewhere. And the truth is, this opens my soul. Being able to serve in this way just really brings me so much joy. And watching the transformation and the healing that each of you do when I work with you one-on-one. I've just had some miracle classes this week. I had this advanced class that was blowing my mind this weekend. I have one-on-one sessions that are huge, top-level, life-changing sessions every day. And so it's really an honor for me to serve in that way, to be able to watch basically you transform. And the next thing I wanted to do was, someone asked me about my daily downloads and how they worked, because they didn't understand them, because I know some of you are new to the group. And in the Facebook group and in different places, we put up a daily download, which is up for about 24 hours. And it's something like, I know how to live my life in joy. It's something like that, something short and sweet, a new feeling. And so every night before I go to sleep, I actually download that feeling into everyone that has commented yes or even taps into that energy. So I do that every single night. And what a download does is it brings a new, higher vibrational meaning into your cellular body, into your meaning-making mind, your understanding. Because that's what we're doing here. We're rewiring pathways to become more joyful, more present, more happy. And so that's how the downloads work. I do them every day. Sometimes I don't comment. Just because I don't say that it's sent doesn't mean I didn't send it, because I send it out every single day. And you can even tap into my 11 to 11:11 time frame pretty much any day of the week. I'm going to be sending out unconditional love healings to anybody who's requesting them that's in my world. It's just part of my personal practice, is to send out that love, that healing, that acceptance, that shift in the energy of the world every single day. So that's part of my personal practice. So I'm really, really grateful. And at this point, we have this video go out every Monday night live in the Soul Circle Facebook group. And then we also have the replay available on YouTube. So there should be a way for that to get to you at some point every week. And and I love and appreciate you. And so this week, what's happening? Because it's big, it's a power portal. There are 7 planets in retrograde, and we are also in the dark moon, the disseminating moon. The new moon is on Sunday. So right now, as we're going through this equinox, you're looking at the fact that the moon is getting darker and darker. So we'll go into the 3 days of dark at the end of this week. In the meantime, the day and the night are the same. So this week, and it's peaking out around the 22nd, but we've already started it, and for really an entire week, the night and the day will be the same length of time as each other. So for those who are in the northern hemisphere, we are starting our dark season. We're starting our spooky season, our mystical season, where the veil goes thin. This is where we start turning inward. And with all of these planets retrograde, we are doing that reflection. We are looking at our relationships, our relationship with money, our relationship with our body, our relationship with anything that may be out of balance, because the equinox is all about balance, our masculine, our feminine, our internal, our external, our ups and our downs, our chakra balancing, our masculine and feminine balancing, anything that needs to be in alignment, our giving and receiving. So there's this energy with this portal of time is also speeding up. We are jumping timelines, which means old paradigms are collapsing. Old energy is leaving, and you're all connecting to something that's coming, something that's new. We start the eclipse season in October. We do that right in conjunction with Halloween or Samhain. It's a really interesting Taurus Scorpio eclipse cycle this year. So it's going to be potent. And if you happen to be a Scorpio or a Taurus, it's a really big deal for your signs as well as other signs. And we can talk about that as it gets a little bit closer. In the meantime, what I really want you to be looking at is, I've noticed a lot of people doing spring or fall cleaning, clearing out, releasing, removing that which is needs to be tidied in your home, needs to be tidied in your paperwork, needs to be tidied in your own body, really. Anything that you are have a bunch of loose ends in. So a little bit of housekeeping. I like to do my housekeeping right at fall and spring equinox. So spring cleaning, fall cleaning. A lot of people up north will even change out their clothing. We were talking about that. Melissa, hi. We're talking about switching out your clothes. And I'll be honest, I love living in Florida. So we don't have to do that. It's just, we're going to add a sweater for 1 month out of the entire year. And we may have to put on pants instead of shorts. So, but those of you who live up north, the seasons are more changing. But all of us have that internal viewpoint where we're turning in and where we're moving for our self into our heart space. We're moving into healing that heart space and moving to the higher heart, moving into that deeper place of acceptance, that deeper place of forgiveness, that place where we're going, I love you so much, to yourself. And where you're looking at yourself in the mirror going, oh, beautiful, I love you. Where you're moving toward going, I forgive you for not being who I wanted you to be. Moving toward, I forgive you for not being where I thought you would be by this age. There's a lot of that going on where people have certain expectations where maybe they thought they should buy a house, or they would be at a certain place in their career or in their relationship. And we're not living the timeline of the 40s, 50s, and 60s of past generations, we're creating something completely new. So people are having a completely different experience than anything that's ever happened in the past. And our lives cannot be based on shoulds anymore. Should almost needs to become an illegal word, because we don't want that projected onto you, and you also don't want to should yourself into anything. You want to be doing things because of desire. You want to be doing things because of love. You want to be doing things because it feels really good for you. And that's when you're getting into alignment, when you're getting into desire, when you're getting into authenticity. And sometimes we need to have a little devotion, because maybe some of the things we want to do are not easy and they're not simple. But instead of putting the should on something that we would have like said, oh, I should be exercising, I want you to devote to exercising. I want you to dedicate to doing something. So instead of putting a should on it, try devotion, try determination, try flipping the script to something that really makes you expand in your heart, that feels really good for you. It's actually what is being asked of us right now, to reflect, to review. There's a lot of life review going on. Letting go of oaths and letting go of vows and letting go of promises, things that really no longer serve you. We've just been through a pandemic, and the world is not the way it was 3 years ago. And we're just exploring our new self. We're exploring our new identity. We're exploring who we want to show up as. Some of us during the pandemic have realized what we were doing that we'll never do again, because it didn't feel good to us then, and it really feels bad for us now. So don't try putting your world back together exactly the same way. The other thing I will say is, with this review, and it's going to be all of the fall, this next 3 months, till the end of 2022, you're looking at mastery. You're looking at what would I have to do to show up to be self-actualized, self-mastered, self-contained. What would I be doing? What's the version of me that allows me to feel in alignment with my truth, alignment with my next level, alignment with my true heart's desire? It's just going to be so till the rest of this year. So what I'd like to do for a moment is actually do a little activation for this portal. So close your eyes, or if you're driving, don't close your eyes. In the meantime, take a couple deep breaths in. Imagine bringing the breath into your body. Deep, deep inhale and a deep, deep exhale. And I want you to hold yourself in the field of love. Imagine that it's above you and below you. Imagine that it's in front of you and behind you. Imagine that it's to the right of you and to the left of you, creating an entire bubble around you. And in that field, we're calling back all of your energy and all of your attention. Anything that's been outside of you is returned, cleansed, and cleared. And anything you are holding on to in this bubble of light, or in your cells, or in your body, imagine that any negative energy or other people's energy is being transmuted and released and being created into pure energy, pure light. Imagine that you are connecting to the energy of the pure love frequency. And connect to what that actually means for you, because you might believe that you're worthy of love, but you may not believe that you know how to have love and love yourself. So connect to the balance of loving yourself deeply and completely. Connect to the understanding that you're whole, and see that all the rips and tears in your aura is being erased and you're being made whole again. And connect to the idea of you are divine. You're complete. You're God on the inside, goddess on the inside. You are divinity defined. And as you recognize that divinity, let go of your shoulds. Just imagine anything you've been shoulding, or whether you've should it or somebody else has should it, let that go in this moment. And imagine that you're realigning. You're aligning to the frequency and the timeline and the vibration of your highest self and your highest timeline. It is commanded at this moment to align your chakras, to fill your body with pure energy, to align your right and your left side in balance, your masculine and feminine in balance, your right and left brain in balance, and that your work-life balance is in balance. And that at this moment, as you connect to this equinox, that your light and your dark, your giving and your receiving, that any and all of you is come into harmony and coherence, and that you feel solid and hopeful and joyful in the highest and best way. Connecting at this time to the divine law of grace, which grace states that you can reset yourself and your understanding of love, divinity, worthiness, just by acknowledging that you are worthy of that grace and deserving of that grace. And so do that right now. Allow yourself to accept yourself. Allow yourself to forgive yourself. And as you're moving into this, connect to, it is graceful and it's easy and it's possible for me. I am worthy. I am deserving, and I am given the highest karma load that I possibly can. And everything is working out in my favor. I want you to just think about that right now. Everything is working out in my favor, right here, right now. Taking a deep breath and exhaling and feeling that flow through you, and anything that you need to let go of, let it flow out of you as you fill yourself up with this yummy, sparkly refill energy. You're refilled, recentered, re-energized, realigned, refocused. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It is done, it is done, it is done. Through every cell of your body, every timeline, through all time, space, dimension, multiverses, reality. And that this is so easy and so safe and so possible. And so it is. And so it shall be. Yeah. So this week, you're going to be really loving to yourself. You're going to be in a little bit of a review. You're going to celebrate with huge amounts of gratitude. This is our season of gratitude that we're coming into. And you can do that in so many different ways. But one of the ways is literally to make a gratitude list. There's a little bit of letting go to be had here right now. So surrender any version of you that you no longer want, and connect in the highest and best way to the version of you that's really going to serve you, that's really going to make you feel authentic, to the version of you that really makes you like light up. And in that, I think you're going to recognize that this is probably one of the nicest, most beautiful times we have all season. It's just really, really lovely. And oh yeah, thank you, Marissa. We are going to be doing a series of practical magic classes on Monday nights in October, herbs, oils, and also working with protection and candles and love and money. So there's one for love, one for money, and one for protection. And it's just the normal stuff that I do every fall. I just decided to do it with all of you, so you could practice with us. It's a really affordable price, and at that point we will give you what crystals to use, some tips and tricks, and it's very much the low impact practical magic way that I do things all the time. And if you want something a little bit deeper dive, certainly we have the most beautiful space for our witchy weekend. If you want to be really immersed into witchy ritual, crafts, great food, and beautiful community, we have our witchy weekend. I have a couple slots left and it's starting to get close. So if you want that witchy weekend, it's either 2 days or 4 days. I have 2 options. Let us know as soon as possible. And then of course our big event this year is Egypt. And so we just saw that the prices dropped on airline tickets. So if you're interested in being with us for the winter solstice in Egypt, now is the time to connect with me. It's so beautiful. We're going to be there right on the equinox. The solstice. And it's interesting because I noticed this year we have the equinox on the 22nd, and often it's on the 21st, but it's the year 2022. So this year's equinox is September 2022, and it actually adds all up to a 1. So it's all about new beginnings. And then you have the same thing happening where December, you have our winter solstice on the 22nd of 2022. So both of these major astrological things that have to do with the sun and the amount of time of day are on the 22nd this year. So I think that's really interesting because of the numerology that brings. So if that's something you want to do, please get a hold of us. It's going to be pretty much the best thing I've ever done was going to Egypt. It activates you, it connects you. I came back just more whole. I came back having touched these places and been touched within my own self. So that's pretty much all I have to say this week. There's a lot going on, so be gentle with yourself. Recalibrate, renew, rest, and refocus. And next week we'll be here on Monday, which will be just after the new moon, and we'll be looking at that bringing the energy back alive for October and getting ready for that October season. So I love you. Have a beautiful week and enjoy your equinox and your big fall harvest, New Year's energy. New Year, Thanksgiving energy. Wow, I'm having a Mercury retrograde conversation here in my mouth. So it is not New Year's energy. It is Thanksgiving energy and equinox energy this week. So enjoy it, and I'll see you next Monday.